A warm welcome to all the listeners. Listen to the Blue Horse. Dr.C.K.N. is in conversation with Pooja. I'm sure you'll enjoy this session, and I'm sure it's going to be some food for your thought.
Hey all, welcome back to the podcast with the Blue Horse. Doctor, what do you think about another myth that is existing around the world, like eating one meal a day will reduce your weight?
No, it's not a myth. I won't call it as a myth. I don't know about weight reduction and all that stuff. I can tell you something, a different dimension about all this, your question.
So is it a misconception?
No. See, we need, we are glucose-driven human cell function, right? Which we have spoken many times. So the modern science, the basic science, the old science, everybody knows this.
Okay.
Whatever may be the different forms of science. We need fuel to run our cell function, which is glucose. So if you take, as I told you, 92% of your body is built with hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. So, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen 1:1 ratio is carbohydrate. Okay. So we need carbohydrate. Glucose is nothing other than carbohydrate. So that's all we have spoken in one of our conversation in the podcast. Now, you need food to survive.
Yeah.
If you're going to go on a hypoglycemia, less than 20, you're going to go to coma.
Okay.
You need minimum of, around 75 to 80 per deciliter glucose in your blood. Otherwise, you're going to struggle. So body has a mechanism to, convert excess glucose coming in through our food to glycogen.
Okay.
Basically stored in liver and all parts of muscles and adipose tissues and all that. So the alpha cells of within long hours of not eating, you eat your dinner at 7:38, and then you get up the next morning 6:30. You have your breakfast at 8:30. So 12 and a half hours we are not eating, right?
Yeah.
So body needs glucose, right? So alpha cells, which is the part of pancreas, the beta cells produces insulin and amylin. Alpha cells produces glucagon. Glucagon is produced, and these glycogens are broken into single monomers, glucose with phosphate 6, and thrown in the blood for the cells to pick it up and use it, make available fuel for every cell.
Yeah.
This is a system in which the whole body functions, right? So you need to eat every day. So what is breaking the fast? Breakfast is breaking the fast because you're not eaten,
Whole night.
Say suppose somebody is, have the habit of having their breakfast at 8:39 and have the habit of finishing their dinner before 6:30. 6:30 to 6:30, 12 hours. Another 15 hours, 14 to 15 hours, you're not eating anything. So we are practiced ourselves like that from the younger days.
Okay.
So the practice follows. And the body is tuned to it. Body can adjust itself. Body knows, it memorizes everything. How the human brain go on recording everything. The human body also go on recording everything.
Okay.
So it knows from 6:30 in the evening to next day, 8:30, 9 o'clock, the food is not going to come in. It will equip itself for that.
Okay. It's a biological clock.
Yeah, you tune your clock that way. And basically system is formed around the world. We don't know how long. That we normally have 3 meals a day. Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
And we do have beverages, right? So we have tea and coffee, we have water, and we may have some juice, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So tea, coffee plays a larger role. Like coffee and tea is produced in millions of metric ton around the world, and the entire humanity is having. We don't know how long. Must be quite number of millenniums they must be having. So now again, a lot of wrong understanding is there in tea and coffee. Many people think tea and coffee is not good. No. Tea and coffee is good. Otherwise, the whole humanity will go to dog because of billions of people are having tea and coffee, right?
They say tea and coffee is good, but then the
excess amount is not good. If you take 4 cups of coffee in a day, it's good for you. Caffeine is too good for the liver.
Okay.
Tea is one of the very, very beautiful antioxidant in the world. One of the best
what they say
antioxidants
is
in the world.
what we get around us in the the retail shops, it is contaminated a lot.
We are not talking about that. Let us not go to adulteration and contamination and all that stuff.
So good.
We are going to talk about if you're going to have good coffee and tea in your house. 6 cups of tea, up to that you can drink.
Yeah.
We are not talking here about the business atrocities and all that. We are going to talk about the facts of what is food.
Yeah.
We will drift from the topic if we're going to talk about adulteration. Yeah, all kinds of nonsense goes on. That's obviously everybody knows about it. You have to protect yourself by picking
That's
up.
the main reason why.
It is your prime responsibility to make sure that you get the right thing in hand.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Okay.
Okay. If you're going to go to an exhibition, there's a lot of crowd, and nobody's going to flip your purse. You're going to be careful, right? So it's your prime responsibility to protect your money. What is that kept inside your pocket? We're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
Now, these 3 meals a day has become, one kind of a practice all over the world.
Okay.
All over the world, they have 3 meals a day. I think in your house, you're having 3 meals a day.
Yes.
And you're giving your children a 3 meals a day, whatever.
Okay.
So we are used to that 3 meals a day. So when the time comes, we feel hungry. If 1:30 you're going to have your lunch, around 1 o'clock you're going to feel hungry. You practiced yourself all right from the time you're born.
Some people say 2 meals is also enough for our body.
We are coming to that. So 3 meals a day becomes a practice. We eat 3 meals a day. So that's how we tune ourselves. And the tea and coffee, whatever you call it. And many people have habit of alcohol, that they drink alcohol. Some do it twice a week, some do every day. That's also an overnourishment. And there are a lot of informations about various types of diets and all that, which we have already spoken. Various types of diets. Now your question is 1 meal a day.
Yeah.
So now if you are practiced to 3 meals a day, and if you want to switch over to 1 meal a day, and that's not going to be so easy. Okay?
Is it because we have trained our body and mind?
You have to break that conditioning.
Yeah.
You have conditioned yourself to 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day, actually speaking, it's not good for us. No. Because
the kind of physical activities we give ourselves.
No, normally, see what has happened from 1900s onwards. Last century, beginning of last century, 20th century onwards, especially after 1950s and all that, when the transport network has really become big. So all kinds of food in all parts of the world was available in all parts of the world.
Yeah.
You in Chennai, you get every country food here. You get Greek food,
Yes.
you get Parsi food, you get Mexican food, you get French food, you get Italian food, you get Mediterranean food. What you name it, you get it. That kind of thing. So the most astonishing information to you is, for a human, wherever he is living in this world, killing time is to eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, how to kill time is eating.
Okay.
If you are stick to a lot of television programs and all that, if you are
Is
sitting in a cinema theater watching movie,
That's how
if you are sitting in a circus and watching circus, if you are sitting in a stadium and watching a match, you go on eating.
Is it to kill
The
time?
best way to entertain yourself is to entertain your tongue. And that's what happens.
I did not
You
think.
cannot make a 10-year-old boy sit in a cricket stadium for 8 hours of cricket
Okay.
and make him sit quiet. No. He's going to eat anything and everything sold there.
No,
Okay.
you feel hungry, isn't
If you are at home alone and if you are bored, you go and take a packet of biscuit and start eating. You just open the fridge, take the juice and start drinking. You just make a cup of tea and have it with biscuits. This happens. So what is the control you have on you with respect
Mind
to...
has been conditioned in that way.
No. What is the control that if you have on the food? Intake part of it on a calendar day basis. Most of us don't have. Only very few. These are all the basic dope of information to you.
Okay.
Now, what exactly the body requires? How much of food that I require for the kind of lifestyle I lead? Okay. It should be your responsibility to understand your body, right?
See, basically we eat when we feel hungry, isn't it?
No. I am asking you something else. I'm telling you, say I work in a bank. I get up in the morning, I go for 1 hour walk, I come back home, I have my bath, I have my breakfast, I carry my lunch and go to the bank. I work till 6:37, I get back home at 7:30 and I have my dinner at 8 o'clock, right? And then I watch some programs in the TV or I work in the computer for some time, or I attend to all my mails, or I'm in the social platform, whatever it is. 10:30 I go to sleep. This is the lifestyle I'm leading. For this lifestyle of mine, I'm 42 years of age, for example. What is amount of food that I require? Do we have any calculation on that? If you are brilliant enough, you can.
We listen to what our body says.
No. Like how much of... We are not going to calculate like Americans in terms of calories and all that stuff. Okay. Now, hunger is one thing, which is another crazy thing, experience.
Seriously.
There are many people who keep on feeling hungry. There are many people who are hungry at the level of the tongue. They want to always entertain their tongue.
I've also seen people who eat while they are feeling depressed.
Yeah, when you're depressed, you tend to eat more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel that's crazy.
Yeah, you go food crazy when you're depressed. Okay. And if there is going to be too much of food around you, most of us, we cannot resist. We'll put our hands on it.
Yeah.
See, once I eat a full meal for my lunch, after that, if you give me a fantastic, my South Indian lunch, immediately washing my hands after lunch, and if you're going to give me a hot burger, I'm going to have it. Okay. I'll still find space in my, I like burgers, for example, or I like pizzas. Okay. I'll have one, no doubt. And too much of sugary food is also another point, Eating too much of mithai.
We are eating a lot because we are tempted. Is
Juice,
it that?
everything.
Is it what
no, sugary foods were not much available till 1970.
Okay.
Maybe till 1915 in the advanced countries. And too many sugary foods are available in 2024.
I have a question. See, are you telling that we are eating a lot because we are tempted towards food?
No, because availability of food is around.
Both.
It's too
It
much.
is available as well as we are
Because of the
tempted
packing, ever since the petroleum came out with something called plastics, we got packaging material, then we brought in millions of processed food ready to eat.
Okay.
There are 250 million Tetra Pak products and they are sold around the world. You don't need to do anything. You just cut open a pack, pour it, your chicken stocks and noodles, heat it up in the microwave, eat it and go. Now, every top company in this world is coming out with processed cooked food ready to eat.
Yes.
Because nobody has the time. Nobody wants to waste their time in cooking. Nobody wants to get into the kitchen area, take trouble themselves. They not spend their quality time to cook their food and eat, which you may call it is a very healthy system to cook your food and eat it hot. Let us not go into that area. We are coming into the area of 1 meal a day. So how are you going to break this conditioning of 3 meal a day to 1 meal a day? Okay. Is what matters. So 1 meal a day, actually the kind of lifestyle what you are leading, the kind of work what you are doing. Say suppose I am a guy who plays international level tennis. I need a lot of energy. I'm a cricketer. I go for a lot of training. I need a lot of energy. I'm a footballer. I need a lot of energy because I do so much of exercise to maintain my fitness, because in the next 1.5 hours I'm going to run like a horse in the field of football. There I go for 100 rounds of 100 laps of swimming every day to maintain my fitness, my skipping and my running, all that kind of thing. I need food now. If I'm going to work in an IT firm, I'm going to sit in front of the computer. I'm not going to spend much of a time in my energy expenditure. But I eat more than the footballer. Then you tend to put on weight. Because most of the food what you're eating is not required. There it's going to get converted into fat and stored. Right? Now if you want to come to 1 meal a day, 2 meal a day itself is good for us. If you know how to design yourself and break the conditioning of 3 meal a day.
Okay.
Like one session of food you have in the morning, and have some beverages, whatever, in the afternoon, liquid, and then, have your early dinner by 7:30. That becomes 2 meal a day.
We have to go early.
Now, suppose you want to talk about 1 meal a day, that's the most fantastic system in the world, provided you know how to tune yourself. And that 1 meal a day should be when? Is what matters. It should be in the morning.
Okay.
Now, if you are a person who is practiced to 3 meal a day, slowly break your conditioning by coming into the system of, reduce your lunch over a span of 3 months.
Okay.
If you're going to have two rotis or chapatis and a little bit of rice, come to 1 chapati first. Come to half a chapati next. Come to 1/2 of that rice, half a quantity. Slowly you reduce yourself. Over a span of 3 months, step by step you reduce your lunch. And then zero down your lunch and shift over to liquid foods for a period of 3 months, and then convert yourself to one cup of coffee or tea with 1 or 2 biscuits or whatever. Right?
Okay.
And then cut the biscuits and only stick to a coffee and tea. Now you prepone your dinner time to 6:37.
Okay.
Morning you were going to have your breakfast, good amount of breakfast, because once you start reducing your lunch and zero downing your lunch, you're going to have a heavy breakfast. Now mind, it is always better to have heavy breakfast.
Okay.
They always say that eat like a king in the morning, right? So then you stick to this for a period of minimum 6 months. This 2 meal a day with a coffee in the afternoon. And then slowly start reducing your dinner. Don't cut your dinner just like that.
Okay.
Step by step, you reduce your dinner over a span of 45 days or 30 days. And then come down to zero. Zero dinner. Okay. I would not ask you to take fructose load by eating fruits, no. Okay.
Okay.
Drink good amount of water. And your heavy breakfast will go on from there on.
Okay.
It may take about, if you're brilliant enough, you can space yourself on this for 8 to 9 months to come to 1 meal a day. And if 8 to 9 months,
Yeah, that's a long period.
it's not a long period. 8 to 9 months is not a long period. At the age of 35, you're doing this. 8 to 9 months is not a long period at all.
Okay.
You first tune yourselves, come down to zero lunch for 4 months. And then 4 months, slowly reduce your dinner.
Okay.
Now you are ready only for 1 meal a day. And that 1 meal a day, you've broken your conditioning part of the biological clock of inviting food into your system.
Okay.
It's slowly forgotten by your body cells that I am not going to get my food. The body cells knows that it is not going to get its food. So it's going to quickly bounce on invitation of the breakfast or food coming inside in the morning at that time. You eat your heavy breakfast. In this system, what happens? When you have your, breakfast alone, the morning one session of food, let us not call even brand that coined the word called breakfast. I'm eating 1 meal a day in the morning.
Okay.
Whatever may be my time, according to my work. Eat good amount, good solid amount. And, the body is going to wait till the next day for the next invitation of food.
Okay.
The intake which is going to come in, it knows. So it starts processing the food which is coming in the morning as 1 meal a day, right?
Understood.
And in the evening, what you have eaten is processed so good in a good way because you have not eaten in the afternoon and evening again. Maybe you can have 1 or 2 tea or coffee in the afternoon and evening.
Yeah.
Never mind. No solid food you are having.
Okay.
Now what happens here, your stools is going to be processed and pushed out in the evening. Your stomach is relatively empty, both in terms of your stomach and larger and smaller intestines.
Okay.
And that's going to phenomenally give you good health, provided if you can stick to it in the long run.
So do we lose our weight drastically during this process?
Not in all cases. In some cases, yes. Not in all.
Okay.
Because the weight part of your body, the shape part of your body is not based on your food.
Really?
Of course, when we do eat excess food, we accumulate a lot of fat. But if you're going to ask me a question called, do I lose weight if I'm going to stick to 1 meal a day? Yes, you will. Little bit. Not too much.
Okay.
Not too much. Because the weight part of your body, the fat molecules of your body and all that stuff, it's not exactly based around food and nutrition, only to a certain percentage.
Okay.
It's exactly based around the cosmic wave theory of body and the body's relationship with the nature. If your Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, Guru, is going to be very good and strong in your horoscope, in your birth chart, that you are not going to lose weight.
Oh my God.
You will not. See, not all people are thin in this world. There are always people who are, stout and, big built right from the younger days till their old age and beyond their old age also. You would have seen such people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, even though they'll eat less, they don't reduce weight.
Okay.
So, we are not here to, practice this 1 meal a day, which is supposed to be good for us with respect to, losing weight. No.
Okay.
This is going to be practiced for the purpose of living a healthy life. The maximum connection between the human body and the nature is the food intake, ma.
Okay.
What comes from outside into our system? Food. Then only water.
Okay.
Maximum food is coming in. That is the maximum relationship with respect to some component coming inside your system is food.
Okay.
The more and more of food, the more and more a problem, because the blood is going to get contaminated all the time. It has to search for its pH value.
Okay.
Because the blood cannot lose its pH value. The blood pH value is constantly maintained by the body of 7.35 to 7.4. It cannot lose itself. That's how osteoblast takes place, and it draws calcium from the bones and, equalize itself and, clean up itself, the acidic level, and reach 7.35 as and when it is required. That is why you will end up with osteoporosis.
True.
So 1 meal a day is supposed to be one of the best mantra to live a very healthy life. irrespective of what's going to be the concept of losing weight or maintaining body shape and all that. Your fitness is going to be extremely high. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you all for listening. Meet you all in another interesting podcast.